Fox News alert: the federal judge in the Michael Flynn case delaying a decision on whether to drop his charges of DOJ's request. Judge Emmett Sullivan, 72 years old, now allowing outside groups to weigh in, including former Watergate prosecutors who reportedly filed a brief against Flynn. Here to discuss it, former U.S. Attorney for Utah, Brett Tolman. Brett, your take on the judge's move.
I thought I've seen everything in 20 plus years in the federal criminal justice system, but this is a first. I mean, this is an outrageous decision by a judge who's now placed himself into that awful category of an activist who's willing to set aside rules, set aside ethics, set aside precedent, and just go in a direction because he is politically motivated to do so.
Right. Here's obviously Sidney Powell has done a remarkable job as the general's new lawyer. Says this court has consistently, on 24 previous occasions, refused to permit any third party to inject themselves or their views in the case. No further delay should be tolerated or any further expense caused to him and his defense. What she's talking about is he's now inviting anyone to weigh in and tell me what you think of this case because the prosecution is bowed out. So that inconsistency, does that open up a legal challenge?
Well, yeah, there's a couple of issues there. I mean, Sidney Powell is correct that this court is now going against its own rulings, which is sacrosanct in the judiciary, that you follow your rulings so that there's consistency in cases. And in this instance, allowing, with all due respect to the Watergate prosecutors, I mean, I don't assume that I can step in as a former U.S. attorney and second guess the decisions of those that are in the actual seat that have the authority and have to make the decision on this case. But for some reason, this judge wants to invite them in. So Sidney Powell is going to have to do some quick acting. She may file, for example, a writ of mandamus that would allow her to immediately appeal this decision and this approach by this judge to the circuit. And let's face it, if it looks like this is what's going on, there's strategy then that's at the heart of what this judge is trying to accomplish. And that strategy is offensive to anyone that practices, because it's the U.S., the United States Attorney's Office that brings a case. It's the United States against Michael Flynn. And when the United States says we're no longer going to pursue it because we don't have the evidence, then the audacity of somebody else outside of that coming in who has no authority is outrageous.